let's have a look at whey protein, shall we? So if you're one of those people who kind of know what whey protein is, it comes somewhere from milk, but you don't know how it's made of, what it contains, how it's built up, then this video is exactly for you. In today's video, we're going to look at a general view on whey protein. What is it about, where it comes from, and why it's maybe beneficial for you to supplement it. So make sure to stay to the very end, because there I'm going to explain to you why it can make sense for you to supplement protein powder to get in shape, reduce a little bit of body fat, and just feel better in your body. So without further hesitation, let's jump right into the stuff. So the first thing that we want to make sure that we know is, what is protein made of? So protein is made of a molecule that is called amino acids. And those amino acids form then the chains, and those chains clump up together and having some fun around and building up the better protein. In order for our body to function properly, we need 20 of those amino acids. We need them, it's no discussion here, because otherwise we're going to have drawbacks, limitations, or other things that we don't want. And from those 20 amino acids, 9 of them are essential. They are called essential amino acids, or EAAs. And those are so important because our body can't make them on its own. And so those need to be taken from external into our body. So by food, by supplements, or whatsoever. And from those 9 essential amino acids, EAAs, 3 of them are BCAAs, branched-chain amino acids. And those are leucine, isoleucine, and valine. So some years back there was this huge claim in the fitness industry that BCAA products would boost muscle growth, like I don't know what, but with this explanation it should be clear to everybody that it's better to just have all 9 amino acids that are essential to us instead of just having the 3 when you can have the 9. So what's their job? What do amino acids do in our body? So the first thing and the major thing is that they build up the proteins, all the proteins that we need in our body to function properly. But further than that, our body is constantly repairing ourselves, new cells, new hair, new everything. And also in this process, amino acids and proteins are a major part. They take over here completely. No, not completely, but you know what I'm saying here. But it's not all about repairing the body, it's also about building new tissue. When you go to training or to your martial arts class and you take your muscles under a certain stimulus, under a certain stress, then this muscle wants to adapt, and in order to adapt it needs protein to rebuild itself and to build new tissue to be the next time prepared to this stress. So where does it come from? Let's have a deeper look at a general level. What is a whey? And to answer this question, we have to look at milk. So the 2 main proteins in milk are casein, which is derived from Latin caseae, which means like cheese, which makes sense because casein is then manufactured to cheese. And in this process, a byproduct falls off. In a liquid form is the whey. And in this liquid byproduct, only 1% of the total dry mass is actual protein. 99% of that you can throw in the towel. Next step now is the microfiltration. Here is where most of the water, the carbs, and the fats from the product are being removed. And that is done by a filter membrane. So this membrane has holes in it with a certain diameter that only lets all the byproducts through, like the lactose, the fats, the carbs, and the protein then stays on top of it. So after this filtration process, we have now this concentrate that is a little bit moist. Still we have some carbs in it, some fats, but not that much. It's maybe 1 or 2 grams, up to 5 grams per 100 grams of product. But now we need to dry it out because we want to have a finished product that is a powder now. And how do we do that? We do that by a spray drying process. So a spray drying process is like a huge tower where you spray the concentrate on top of it, and it then floats to the bottom and it's mixed with hot air streams. So on the way to the bottom it is then dried out. And let's go a little bit into details for all the nerds here. You have heard maybe that when you have fever, when you have the cold and your fever reaches a certain point, 32 degrees Celsius, then your proteins denaturate in the body, and the cause of that can be death. So that's pretty a dangerous thing. The same thing we have here. We have to look at the temperature in the spray drying process is not going above the 32 degrees Celsius, because then the proteins denaturate, and that's nothing what we want then in the end product, in the protein powder, right? So let's talk about the different forms of whey protein. So the first form that we have is, as I explained before, the concentrate, whey protein concentrate. So this is like a product that is filtered once, and we have a little bit of carbs, we have a little bit of fats, but that's pretty much okay. The protein content here is from 80 to 90 grams per 100 gram of powder. And for people like you and me, this is the product that we in the end use, because we don't need that 1 or 2 grams less in carbs. We are not pro bodybuilders, so that is the product to go. A little bit the better version is now the whey protein isolate, because it has gone through 1 or 2 more steps in the filtration process. So it's a little bit cleaner, we have less carbs, we have less fats, and it's more protein content, respectively to 100 grams. We're talking about like at least 90 grams of protein per 100 grams of powder. But if you want to buy this product, you also have to pay this extra filtration. So the product is usually like 2, 3 or 5 euros or dollars more expensive than the concentrate. And I would only recommend this product really for people that are like really going on stage, pro bodybuilders, or that are really ambitionated, or for people that have maybe a lactose intolerance. Because, as I said, with the more filtration, our carb level is lower, and therefore also the lactose is lower. And now the third product is something that most of you maybe don't have heard of. It's the whey protein hydrolysate. And it's a form of protein that is kind of pre-digested because it has undergone a partial hydrolysis. So that's something that happens in our body when we take in food. It gets under hydrolysis and is then absorbed. And the reason why manufacturers do this partial hydrolysis is because the protein then is faster absorbed by the body. And really this is only something for the pros, nothing for us, because it's then also again more expensive. Now we come to the point, how can protein help you to gain muscle? So let's talk about how a muscle is built up. So a muscle is built from 75% around of water, 20% of muscle and 5% of other tissues. So we have 2 leverages here, we have the water and we have the protein or the mass. And by doing resistance training or going to a martial arts class, every time when you damage the muscle, there are little cuts in the muscle that the body wants to repair, because that is the job of the amino acids, rebuilding the body. And how does it do that? When you have enough protein in your system by the food you take or the supplements, it then refills the body to be adapted to the stress the next time when you go to training. And that's how a muscle grows. But as a matter of fact, that's not the only way a muscle can grow, because we can also manipulate the volume of water or glycogen that a muscle can hold. But now we are going really into the rabbit hole of sports science. So if you want to know more here about how a muscle can grow by increasing the volume or the glycogen storage, then please let me know in the comments, leave a comment, maybe I can do a video where I explain that. And now, as I promised you in the beginning, here are the 3 reasons why protein can maybe help you to reduce your body fat and reach your fitness goal. So the first thing is it can reduce hunger because of the 3 macronutrients, protein, fats and carbs. It is the most satiating of all of those. So for example, can you eat like half a kilo of pasta or half a kilo of chicken? Well, I most certainly can eat half a kilo of pasta, but half a kilo of chicken is kind of hard, and then you are satiated for a long time. And knowing this, we come to the next point. Protein intake can reduce cravings. Imagine the situation, you are with your girlfriend, if you have one, on the couch in the evening, and you feel like this, now. This exactly happens because you are not satiated enough. And if you would have now eaten a protein-rich meal in the middle of the day or in the morning, that keeps you satiated through the day, that maybe also the cravings are reduced. And the little tip here is, if you have those cravings, get yourself some fruit, get yourself a skyr, a low-fat curd cheese or something like this, mix it with a scoop of protein powder and you're good. Because then you also have increased your protein and your cravings are gone. And the third reason now why protein is so important in your diet is the thermic effect of food. So every time when you eat something, your body needs energy to digest it. And this energy to digest it we call thermic effect of food, because this energy that it's used goes into thermal energy. You maybe experience that when you have eaten a large meal and then you're a little bit lazy, but you also get a little bit warm, you maybe begin to sweat, and this is exactly this thermic effect of food that we're talking about now. And the interesting point now is that the thermic effect of food with protein is 20 to 30% of all the calories consumed. So a little example, if you eat like 1,000 calories just out of plain protein, then the thermic effect of food would be 200 to 300 kilocalories just to digest it. So absolutely speaking, you would have just consumed 700 calories instead of 1,000, because it also needs to be digested. And this thermic effect of food is with carbs maybe 5 to 10%, and with fats it's negligible. So that's it. I hope you could learn something. Here on this side you find some other videos that you might should check up if you want to deepen your knowledge and take your training to the next level. And here on this side you can follow me, it's for free, hit the bell to not miss any future uploads. Let's see you the next time.